Hello there and welcome back to a Hiya Toys movie figure review. Got a whole bunch of alien stuff to look at today. Some eggs and some alien warriors and the Alien Queen. They're all currently available on Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to pick some of these up, you can use the links in the video descriptions. Beautiful artwork on here. Love James Cameron's Aliens. Seen it multiple times. And the director's cut is the way to go. All of the extra footage they've put back in the movie just makes it so much better. If you've never seen the director's cut of Aliens, do yourself a huge favor and check it out. There's some documentation included, assembly instructions, how to attach. So there's some stuff you need to assemble with the Alien Queen. She comes in similar packaging as the Predators, like the RoboCop and Predator figures that I've already looked at. This Alien Queen is 1/18th scale. Comes with a whole bunch of accessories, little parts to plug into the back, and these base parts, 4 of them, which will connect together. And the 4 floor pieces connect with these H connectors. And this part plugs in there. The Queen doesn't actually have any holes in the bottoms of her feet. Guess you could easily drill some if you wanted to. But it's just as simple as that. You just balance the figure onto the stand like that. And it's actually, for as haphazardly as I've put it on there, it's actually balancing really, really well. It pretty much has to be like this because of just how gangly the Queen is in the movie. She's a pretty weird looking creature that looks unnatural in the movie too. Like totally, how does a thing like that balance? So I can see why they had to go this route. I do have a McFarlane Alien Queen from years back. It has a little bit of issues balancing as well for the exact same reason. Got some parts to connect onto here. There is this inner mouth part right here, that little snapping mouth that can connect onto the inside of the mouth. Here's a look at some of the really incredible detailing. Once again, incredible detail. There's just so much to talk about and so much to show. I really don't know where to start with these things. The plastic used is really nice and rubbery, so you are not going to break anything here. This isn't like McFarlane or NECA versions of the Alien Queen. Look at how floppy that is. Fantastic. Same with these arms as well, and the teeth, the jaw. The teeth are slightly translucent. That's a cool effect. So you can take this inner mouth, and it can only plug in one way because there's a tab on the top. Plugs into the hole inside there. Just work its way in there. This headpiece seems to be sliding a little bit. Just slide it all the way back. And now the Queen has that inner mouth that tried to chomp Ripley in the movie when she was in the power loader. You also get a bunch of these back, whatever they are, back spinal plates types of things. Move the head up, and there are holes in the back where these connect. So you'll just take the end of these, and taking a look at the picture on the box, we'll just pop them in. So these little spiky things are supposed to plug into these holes, and I'm having quite a bit of trouble getting them in there. They're basically little ball joints, so they're supposed to be articulated, but the problem is, as bendy as this material is, this part's actually really fragile, and you can very easily break it by trying to fit these in here, you kind of have to work it back and forth in there. But it's a really tight fit, and it's too much pressure being put on a tiny little ball joint. And it doesn't seem to matter which ones I try to work it into, how carefully I do it, even if I can get it in. Now that one is in. And I've done one of these off camera too. Okay, that was a hassle to do, to get all of those spikes in there. They are super fragile, and be extra cautious when plugging them in there. And here's a 360 of the Alien Queen. Looks even creepier when I kill one of my lights here. It's all about the shadows with the aliens designs. The less you see, the scarier and creepier it is. But just for the sake of showing you off all the details in this thing. Incredible paint job, very glossy, kind of slick, wet look to it. Biomechanical, very true to the H.R. Geiger design. The tail seems to have a wire in it, similar to the original. I had an old McFarlane. Yeah, I think there's a wire in there. The old McFarlane alien figures, which on the McFarlane one, the tail on one of mine eventually broke off, which is unfortunate, so you don't want to mess with that far too much. I think this is going to be one of the more fragile Hiya Toys figures, despite the durability of the front arms with how nice and floppy the arms are. And these, I think the other stuff, like especially these back spikes, are going to be incredibly fragile. Articulation on the Alien Queen, she's got some, one of the spikes just fell out. They're really hard to get back into. Full lay, like look at this. You actually do the Spartan kick with the Alien Queen, probably. Oh, another one of my, see these, once you even get them in, as careful as you are, they pop out really easily. And I'm not really crazy about sticking them back in. But let's see, Spartan kick, maybe if you use this stand to give her some balance, maybe, and the tail, yeah, that kind of works actually. Here you go.
This is Sparta!
This is LV426, and you can get some crazy fun poses if you want to do some funny pictures. But yeah, the problem with moving it around like I'm doing is these back spikes are just flying out because they're not in there all that securely. The head has some nice range on it, so you can get some of those kind of creepy tilted looks. Arms have enough range so that you can do that. Basically, this is the main alien pose, is where they just kind of splay their fingers out in a creepy, threatening manner. Can't do really much with these weird chest legs. But kind of like the Predator, it's just meant to stand there and look terrifying. Looks like there's there's an actual twist on the foot, so that you can try to stabilize it somewhat, and to give you an idea of the size of this queen. Here she is alongside the Predator figure, and the Predator is kind of a big boy in terms of 1/18th scale figures. Here's a G.I. Joe Outback O-ring who's a little shorter, and she looks as big as she should, just towering over human and humanoid figures. And since the queen is the one that lays the eggs, Hiya also has some alien egg sets. There is the set from the original Ridley Scott Alien movie. And wow, is that ever creepy. So it includes eggs as well as Facehuggers. And in this first set, you get a set of 6 eggs, and it looks like they are removable from the base. If you, this is really cool actually. So these eggs are, they're made of translucent plastic so that you can just ever so slightly see inside them. And if you wanted to, you can take a Facehugger, which has incredible detail. That is amazing. Ugh. And just put it in the egg. And then there's only one way to connect it. You see this little nub right here. Connects to this little indentation right there to make it nice and secure. And now you've got, you can barely see it in there, but there is an alien Facehugger in there. And I'm going to use this flashlight to try to illuminate this egg a little bit. Oh, that is so freaky. You can actually see the fingers. That is unbelievable. Now I'm having to put the light right up next to it in order to get that effect. But that is just wild. 2 of the eggs are open as well, so if you wanted to, you could just have the Facehugger like that, or about to pounce out of it. Man, that is so creep-tastic. So you get 6 Facehuggers as well, and I'm just curious if this Facehugger can actually hug a face. So I'm gonna take this Predator figure, and it doesn't really clasp around his head, unfortunately. And the other ones, they're just more in like a walking pose. I guess you could take some sticky tack and stick it on there, but they're not really designed to attach onto a host. But you can just stick them inside there. Oh man, that is so freaky. Being able to see an alien inside there. Oh. Just like in the movie. That's awesome. So you can put those around your alien queen. And then we've got one more set. It's the one from James Cameron's sequel movie, Aliens. Alien egg set. And you get 6 eggs and 6 Facehuggers, just like on the Ridley Scott Alien set. The paint job looks exactly the same on them. Same detail, same molds. The eggs are just a little different though. Just like in how the warrior aliens are a little different from the original first Alien movie. From afar they look the same. The bases actually might be exactly the same. But the eggs have some different sculpting on them. And the big thing is they're not translucent. No light passes through them. Whereas light can pass through these. Just kind of like a rougher look to it. Here's opened ones. You can see it's a totally different mold. And it's kind of tough plastic actually. It's not very bendable. And like with the other set, you can actually stick an alien inside a Facehugger. You get 2 of these Facehuggers that are kind of folded up. So you can pop them in there. And you can put these guys on top of the other ones if you wanted. Or just have them running around loose. If you get enough of them, they basically become like a diorama. An environment for your alien queen. And even though they're different, they kind of go well together. I guess you could even just kind of interchange them to break up the difference even more. They're not all that different from each other, but they definitely add to the creepiness factor of the alien queen watching over her eggs. And we've got 2 more figures to look at today. And like the eggs, they're very similar but subtle differences. Let's first take a look at the Alien Align Warrior, which comes in brown. So Hiya Toys is offering you some different color options depending on what color these things are in your headcanon. Remember some years back Han Solo was available in both brown and blue Hoth coat because it just looked different in different lighting. So the aliens can either appear brown or kind of bluish gray. And here's the brown. And he is, aw, he's a cutie. Look at this little guy. I've never seen one of these so tiny before. This is really cool. I'm used to these things always being giant, monstrous figures that loom over top of other figures. And he is quite a bit bigger than like a G.I. Joe, a bat. And I'll kill one of the lights here. Oh yeah. That's the stuff right there. Creeping in the shadows in the darkness. Beautiful. In its creepy way. He does have holes, unlike Queen, in the bottoms of his feet. And he's got a wire in his tail too. Be cautious about that. From experience with McFarlane alien figures, that'll break on you if you use it too much. He's got those hoses coming out of his back. Incredible detail. Just magnificent. It's got a very interesting hip joint. It's got that drop hip that some figures have. And he's got quite a bit of articulation. That is so much better than the old McFarlane alien figure that I had. And extra hands. Why? Because why not? Some bonuses. It's so similar. It's not like one's closed, one's open, or slashing. There's not much of a difference there. But there you go. Extra hands. Just to give you some bonus stuff. Let's pop that foot on here. And that's really, really nice to have an alien figure that doesn't have any issues standing. None at all. The tail helps with stabilizing him a little bit too, so he doesn't fall back. And here's a side-by-side with Hiya's fantastic RoboCop figure. When you crouch them all up, he loses some height, but you pretty much have to. These things aren't meant to stand up straight and mind their posture. They're supposed to be all creepy and lunging. So that's the brown alien warrior. And this one is more my opinion on what the aliens look like in the second movie. When I think of brown alien, I think more of the third Alien movie on the prison planet. But this one right here, it also includes some bonus hands. I think this is going to be the exact same mold, actually. Let's do a little side-by-side comparison right off the... Oh, look at that! Just discovered that by accident. The mouth actually moves, chomping up and down. It's got the little inside chomper, extra mouth in there. That's awesome. I'm guessing that the brown one does that too. Oh, that is amazing! The the inner mouth just shot out. Oh, that's freaky. That is awesome. I didn't know about that feature. That one does it too. That is freaky. That is such an awesome bonus. Look at that. It's horrifying. Oh, that's fantastic. Well done. Well done. So here's a side-by-side. It's the exact same mold, looks like to me, just with a different paint job. This is almost copper. It's almost got a sheen, like a metallic sheen on it. It looks like the exact same one to me. Seeing them side by side, definitely. I prefer the bluish, dark black look to it. And if we kill one of the lights here, yeah, shrouded in the darkness a little bit better. Pop them on one of the stands here, and now that's interesting. He doesn't actually have any foot peg holes. The brown one does, this one doesn't. Yeah, the brown one has them on both feet. But the blue one doesn't actually have any foot peg holes. So if you want to do that, you're going to have to drill it yourself. And this is where the tail is going to really come in handy. But you're going to have to be a good wire bending specialist in order to balance. The foot peg does help quite a bit in just stabilizing him, but you can still get him on there with a little bit of balancing. Yeah, that wasn't too hard, and he's pretty stable on there. Giving the table a good tap, and he's not going anywhere. But what's your preference? Which one do you think looks better? The brown or the blue? I personally think the blue looks better alongside the queen as well, having them side by side. But he's actually not that blue. The queen is much more blue. This one looks just more light blue and silver next to the queen. But just like that, it looks like I've got myself a xenomorph infestation. Whole bunch of aliens, facehuggers, eggs, xenomorphs. Nice thing about this scale that Hiya Toys is doing, the 1/18th scale, G.I. Joe scale as I always refer to it, is that you can just all of a sudden have a giant collection because they're so much smaller and more affordable than the bigger scale, the Marvel Legends scale or the NECA scale. Another cool classic movie line brought to you in the 1/18th scale by Hiya Toys. Be sure to let me know what you think of these figures in the comment section below. Feel free to share the video with your fellow Aliens fans. And to join the tribe, hit subscribe. Nerdmas Day.